Welcome to 2024 and our first episode in this new year. It's actually our 35. So if you've missed any of our previous Heart and Souls episodes, you can watch them on YouTube or go on the common podcast shows and watch them there. Plus also, so far, you can get two books, two Heart and Soul books, ebooks you can download from Amazon. And we are always so happy and love to share from our heart and our soul and help you to connect to your heart and soul. Today's topic is intentions as we are starting this new year. And think about what your intentions are for 2024 and how goal setting versus intentions work, and or New Year's resolutions and why they don't work. And there is so much around this topic of intentions. And my name is Caroline Palmy, and I'm always so happy to have my gorgeous friend and co-host here. Welcome, Janet.
Hi, Caroline. Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. Here we are, and it's hard to believe where the last year went. It just seemed to go really quickly. It just sort of feels like it's speeding up. Anyway, here we are in 2024. And as you sort of say, we are here today to talk about intentions and to touch on about goal setting and New Year's resolutions. Now, I don't know about you, Caroline, but in the past, every new year, there I was planning my New Year's. I am going to do this. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it. Full of all of these, just desires that I wanted to do, but in a very sort of strong, passionate way. But as you say, I mean, how many of us have set New Year's resolutions and how many of us have ever achieved them? Some people do. Don't get me wrong, but I think I saw a statistic recently on the TV here where it says something like 84% do not. Do not even get out of January. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? What about you, Caroline?
Yeah, I know. I set New Year's resolutions. Yeah, like losing weight, no more sugar, all these kind of things, or going to the gym and all these getting fit. And it was always sort of something from the outside or things when I felt I'm not good enough, looking at myself, says, oh, I definitely need to lose weight, I'm not that perfect figure.
No, I'm not.
We never are, and we set those resolutions because it comes from a lack experience and we don't feel good about ourselves. And of course, they usually fail because people, they want to stop smoking, they want to stop drinking and everything. And it has sort of like from 200% to 0%. It's sort of like all in or nothing. And the resolution is usually nothing. And that's why they fail, And coming back to intention is sort of like smoking less, or eating healthier, feeling good, feeling healthier. And then it's easier to achieve and you keep going because it comes more from the heart and not like, oh, I don't look good or I can't love myself if I have 2 pounds too much or 20 pounds or whatever. And then people realize 20 pounds, 30 pounds later down, they still don't love themselves. So they realize something is missing. And in the resolutions and in the goals, I feel that the heart and the soul are missing.
Yeah. I know when I first started practicing, and I was very much did life coaching as well with the NLP, and life coaching was very much about sort of, identifying what people's desires, goals were, what they wanted to achieve. And it was very, using SMART goals and go. And after a while, I started to feel this is so heavy. It just feels for me such a masculine energy. And some people were very good at very committed and doing it and disciplined. But for me, it started feeling, I was feeling actually a bit agitated for the person. And, there was that sort of like fear of failure, that if you didn't achieve it, and that made you feel worse because maybe and even though you were trying to set sort of, smaller steps, and it also felt, I had one person say to me that it felt like once you'd set those goals, they were set in stone and you couldn't change them. And they felt like more like a millstone burdening you down. And I started to realize that for me as well, that it just wasn't working. It wasn't working. And as you say, when I sort of changed and found out more about setting intentions, that suddenly became so much more lighter. And I was sort of like going more, less set expectations, if you know what I mean, and more flexible.
Definitely, because setting goals, it's sort of like a milestone. You have to get there, you have to take those steps. And the thing is, sometimes goals, or sometimes you set it in 5 years or for a year or something, and you don't take into account that life changes and you might find a new direction. And then that goal, it's not right anymore, but you still feel like a failure because you haven't achieved it. Or maybe goals for me are doing, very narrow, very mind oriented, and very masculine, like you said. And then with intention, it's more fluid, open, it's more feminine, it's and really focusing on how it makes you feel, when you feel, then it's open, and then you're also open to receive, because we need to learn to work with the universe, with the energies, and not against it. Because when we set goals, we're not working with the universe, we're just working with maybe what other people expect of us, or what our brain tells us, sort of. And then it's not working with the universe. Even if you set hard set goals, or it's just not the same energy wise. And working with the energies and just being open to receive that and get into that feeling of, we had an episode on gratitude, and I think it's sort of like, that's intention is sort of, you're already grateful for it now, and that opens it up, and they're more fluid. You can totally, we don't say it has to be, I don't know, so much money or so much whatever weight wise, let's stay with the weight. I want to lose 20 pounds. So every 2 weeks I lose a pound is sort of then the small goals, But here we want to feel lighter, we want to feel healthier, and we want to feel more alive. And it doesn't say how. And just by feeling good and feeling good about ourselves, all of a sudden, we feel better. We eat healthier just by feeling good about ourselves. And we don't have to focus on the scale so much.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Caroline. I'm there with you. I mean, that's the thing for me, is that you don't have that sort of hard expectation, and if that expectation isn't met, the disappointment that goes with it. To me, intentions, as you sort of say, it's more about the feeling, because you very much said there, when you're setting intentions, it's about the feelings that you want to achieve, that you desire. So, and then it becomes, with intentions, I feel more playful. So the whole energetic system there is completely different. It's not pushing you down, it's very much lifting you up. And that, as we know in the energetic world, is a very important thing to raise your vibrations. So if you feel that you're setting intentions that are going to bring you joy, happiness, fun, it just, that whole feeling of joy in your life is going to be worth so much more than feeling miserable because you can't have that slice of cake that you would like. I mean, obviously you've got to control certain things, but if you're exercising because you now find it a joy to do that, which I do at the moment with my dog. She gets me out of the house. Even yesterday when we had some snow, although she was kind of like, what is this? So she just barked at it. So yeah, not quite your level of snow, Caroline, but for us, any sort of snow just causes major issues here in the UK. But it's good, because then I get out in the fresh, cold air. You start to feel alive again, and I start to notice and be looking at the small thing, because she's always stopping to sniff things. And then I have time to look around me, and it is the little things. And I spot sort of something and go, oh, look, which I wouldn't have seen if I hadn't gone out for the walk. So it is about looking at sort of what the bigger picture of your overall happiness. What do you think, Caroline?
Definitely. And yeah, and we can always tap down. I think we are more guided, more aligned. And then when we, in the morning, we say, okay, I want to feel healthy. My intention is to feel healthy. And then sort of, you can ask yourself, how can I feel healthy today? And then maybe you get the guidance to go for a walk in nature. And like you said, it's not like you have to jog or just go there, but be more mindful, have the walk, look around, see the flowers along and see the beauty around you. And it's good, like you said, you stop with the dog and then you look around, because if you just go for a walk, then you're just sort of like task done in, and you've missed the complete experience. And I think with intention, we have the whole experience of being alive, basically, right?
Yeah, and there's a word you've used there. You talked about before, goals felt very action oriented, and now you're talking about intentions being in that moment, enjoying it, recognizing it, becoming aware of these. It's the little things. Can really bring us so much joy. And that's, to me, has made a massive difference. I mean, yes, I have intentions of certain things I would like to achieve this year, and that's okay, but I haven't made it that I have to have it done by such and such a date. I have to have it's more, as you say, more fluid, lighter, and I will work to make it, but I won't beat myself up if I have a couple of books I need to I not need to write. I want to write. I want to finish them this year, but I'm not going to pressure myself to have so many words done every day. That I don't need that pressure to do it. It will come. I've now feeling into that and connected with that energy for that intention, and I know it's going to happen because I'm going to do it.
It is, and just as you speak, I feel my heart wide open, and and that's the basic of intention, of opening your heart to the possibilities out there. you know. And if you say, by the end of the year, I want to have written those 2 books, who knows? Maybe you write 5 books this
Yeah,
year. You know, that's sort of, maybe if it's 1.5 and then the next one is finished next year in February.
doesn't matter.
But we are so prone on that doing in that one step and the next and keep going. And we've lost track of being. We are human beings, not human doings, you know. And I think it's just so important to enjoy being alive. I mean, our time here is finite, you know. When the time is up, the time is up. And it's so wonderful to just enjoy the moment and don't keep pressing towards, you know. I think with goals, it's always, you're always in the future. I have to do this and I have to do this. And only if I haven't reached it in a week, then I'm failing. Then I have to catch up. You have to do double next week. And then you're under the constant pressure. And we are so, many of us are already harsh enough on ourselves. We don't need goals to put ourselves down even more. And I think especially this year, it needs more gentleness. And the gentleness starts within, and learning to be more gentle with yourself, you know, and allowing intentions to come. Because at the end of the day, the end of our lives, no one is going to ask, how much money did you make? How much did you achieve your goals? It will be sort of, did you live in a moment? Did you enjoy your life? Did you share the love? Were you kind? And it's these kind of things we can experience every day.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. As you say, it's when you bring yourself back to, because we can only work on ourselves. When you get back to your living heart and soul led life, and you're feeling that joy and happiness, it does ripple and radiate out to the people around you. And you're also sharing that experience and touching other lives in a more positive way. And that's so much more rewarding. I mean, yes, we've all got bills to pay, unfortunately.
Obviously, yeah.
But you know, when we look at society, there's so much pressure on having material things. And I see so many of the young people, it's all about earning so much and having this and having that and having that. And it's not real. It's not real. And it puts a lot of pressure on other young people who are trying to follow that model, and it's not right for them. And I strongly believe right now that there is a call for light workers to step up, like us, Caroline. And, you know, the more that you can be the light yourself and find that joy and happiness, it really will impact lives and make a positive ripple. And the more of us doing that, it just will make such a difference in this world right now. So, yes.
Yeah, and the more we can come to that inner peace, inner calm, and that inner love, the more we can bring that into our home, into our families, into our friendships. And yeah, and that's so important, to truly learn to live from your heart. And that's what intentions are, truly connected to the heart, to the divine feminine, to the fluid, allowing, being open to receive. And yeah, so listeners, share with us what your intentions are, or what you learned today, especially, you know. Are you still setting goals, and how do they feel to you? Or do you still make New Year's resolutions? Has that worked for you so far? Or are you ready to embrace a more gentler way of starting every day, not only on the 1st of January, but actually every day, every week, every month, we can do that. And Janet, you sure has some more words to share as well.
That's the thing, is it's about intentions. They're like having a desire, a wish, if you will, or a dream. And to me, it is exactly that, about it's the feelings. It's connecting with those feelings for the desire that you wish to achieve. That it's, do you feel totally connected to it? Does it bring you joy? If it's not feeling like that, you really got to ask yourself, why am I doing this? If it's not bringing me joy, why?
Or for whom?
Or yes, if it's for someone else. Because so often, and I know in the past I was exactly the same, that society said you had to be a certain size and shape, you had to have a certain level of, you felt like you had to have a certain level of education, you had to have this, have to. And yes, did I fall into that? Absolutely. And now I've let it go. Caroline's helped me so much to let that go, and it really has felt like freeing me up. And I know at the right time, if it's something I really feel for my health that I want to lose weight, I'll set the intention and that will happen. But right now, I'm just happy that I'm healthy, that I'm able to do things, that I feel much more joyful and enjoying life so much more. And that to me is priceless.
Absolutely, absolutely priceless. And yeah, that's the deep gratitude for what we have, and more of that, and setting the intention for a healthy life. And that's it. Healthy life, more health, and maybe fitness, or if you want to build up some muscles, you can set that intentions and be open to the guidance. I think with intentions, we are also opening up to the guidance, because it's not a fixed point we want to go, like when we go on a hike and then we have to take a certain route, but it's sort of like, universe, I love to feel healthy, just guide me there. I don't know in what form or whatever comes, but then it's the right one for you. And yeah, learning to accept yourself and love yourself just the way you are is also a first step towards healthier, more fulfilled, beautiful year ahead.
Absolutely. Wishing you all the most wonderful 2024, filled with love and light blessings.
So you can connect to the heart and soul. And if you, dear listeners, viewers, have any topics you love to hear from us, share them with us. We have many topics planned and ideas, but we love your input as well. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to yours. Have a wonderful, healthy, abundant, sunshiny year ahead.